All right, guys. Well, here I am, finally chiming in on the Mo Salah drama. I did think about doing a video yesterday, but it's Sunday, innit? I love Sundays, me. My roast dinner was on go. Was I going to delay my dinner for some millionaire footballer? What's that? Fuck. No, not a chance. But I've got a lot to say about it. It's going to be a long video, so if you've got an attention span of a fucking div, then you might not want to watch it. But what I can tell you is I have made some notes on my tablet behind me because there is so many things that I want to say. But I can tell you very briefly that I will always support the manager over issues like this. Whoever the manager is, even if you have no faith in the manager and it's a good excuse to use it against him, no, fucking no. Mo Salah is a Liverpool legend, but he behaved anything like a Liverpool legend with the way that he threw the manager under the bus. He can talk about being thrown under the bus, but he threw the manager under the bus and then drove over him, checked his mirrors, and drove back over him again for good measure, right? And Mo Salah, you only ever hear from Mo Salah when it's about Mo Salah, right? So, no, I'm not having it. Listen, if you are like, oh no, you leave Mo alone, he's a lip now, you're on the wrong fucking video right now, I can assure you, because we will not agree on it. Your opinion, everyone's got an opinion, it's great, but I'm sorry, the manager calls the fucking shots, right? And there's some things in life you don't fucking do, all right? And it's not helpful. It was about Mo Salah FC, not Liverpool FC. And I'm quite disgusted with him, to be honest with you. I am quite disgusted with him. Now, I might have to, pick my tablet up in a minute, but I just wanted to speak a bit freely first, really, about the situation. There is things that you could say, like, well, why is Gakpo playing? Why is Kanate playing? Yeah, that's right. But the manager makes the fucking decisions. And when Mo Salah was dropped originally, I didn't see anyone making a big fuss about it, because on my live streams and in the comments on my YouTube channel and on the VIP members website behind me, people have been calling for him to be dropped for ages. Sometimes it gives a player a kick up the arse. If you're constantly playing, where's the incentive? Do you know what I mean? Like to kick, you need someone on the bench to be breathing down your fucking shoulder, don't you? Not if you know you're the first, name on the team sheet each week. You've got to be there's a bit of complacency in there, right? Or there can be. And, Mo Salah turning around saying, like, I picked myself after everything I've done for this fucking club. But no one's more important, I'm not more important than anybody else. Fuck off, Mo. What the fuck are you on about? Listen, that comment, right, might have upset a few people today. But I tell you what, if a player had said that, a few years back, I'd be surprised if they ever played for the fucking club again. Honestly, you can't say that at Liverpool Football Club. Every fucking player, every week you're playing to be selected. What sort of a fucking baby attitude is that? I can't have that, guys. I can't. Do you know what I mean? Oh, dear me. Imagine being judged on your past conquests and stuff like that. Can you imagine that? I mean, what would I be doing? Well, I used to be a great shag, me, so I should be in your bed every fucking weekend now. You know what I mean? No, things change, you get older. You know what I'm saying? I can't believe he said that, to be honest with you. What a fucking idiot. Listen, we only hear from him when he fucking wants something. You know what I mean? I didn't see him stepping up when Liverpool going through a bad run going, listen, it's on players like me. I'm not, I need to be doing more. I want to hear that from my players, don't you? Yeah? Even if you don't, if you don't want to say like, oh, well, the team needs to be doing more, I'd stand up and go, yeah, hey, listen, I'm not, fucking, immune from criticism. I need to step up as well. But, I'm being left out of the team. Now, I'm going to have to get my notes, otherwise I'm going to get angry. I really am. What do you think? You can start typing up your death threats now if you want. But if you caps lock me to death, I'll fucking ban you. Let's have a look. Right. What have I got here? See, I've got all my notes here. He's got every right to feel frustrated, but he had absolutely no right to handle it like that. Right. Salah only speaks when Salah needs something. And every Liverpool fan knows that. We only hear from him when he wants a fucking contract or a pay rise or something like that. Do you know what I mean? Well orchestrated, well planned. He knew what he was fucking doing. And I've not seen a single interview or not an interview, post-match analysis from any former Liverpool players. So I don't know how it's gone down, right? I suspect the old guard, the proper fucking Liverpool players, we've had players play for Liverpool that are not Liverpool players in some ways. But I suspect they're like, has he really fucking said that? Right, let's have a look. The only time he goes public, contract negotiations, position himself for a better deal, damage control about his future, or like now when he feels personally hard done by. And where's his agent? Fucking, what's he called? Run me a bath. Run me a bath. Rami Abbas. Where's he? Normally he's chiming away on social media, isn't he? Has he posted out on Instagram yet? I don't know. Where's my phone? Oh, someone's tried ringing me. Suspected spam. Well, I wouldn't have answered it even if I'd have known them. Instagram, run a bath. What's he called? Rami. There he is. Oh, no. The 10th of October. Imagine having an agent like that. You've got the biggest crisis since you've been at Liverpool and he's prancing around like that. That was last picture he put out. I love me. Who do you love? Fuck's sake. Can't shut the cunt up when he wants something as well. He's another one. Does Mo Salah have a right to speak? Yes. He's a club legend. He's earned respect and he's allowed to say he's unhappy. But there's a difference between speaking honestly and speaking recklessly. And I would say it was recklessly. Tactical, emotional, self-centered, nuclear, just fucking... Nah. You should have seen how many messages I got when it all came out. Fucking hell. Did my head in. Could have spoken to the manager privately. Could have spoken to the sporting director privately. Requested clarity internally, what's the crack or something like that. Waited until this AFCON is out of the way, when things quieten down a bit. What he's really done is basically, you can't let him. I've got a really good comment from someone at the club actually, which I'm going to read to you. You can't give players powers, guys. Power, no matter who they are. You can't. You fucking can't. He has a right to speak, but he also has a responsibility not to damage the club that he claims to love. He did throw Slot under the bus. He didn't even wait to be asked about Slot. He volunteered it. We don't have any relationship. Someone doesn't want me in the club. I got promises in the summer that weren't kept. The club, fuck off. I'm sick of hearing it already. The club has thrown me under the bus. What a fucking... It undermines the manager publicly. It creates a media frenzy. It creates division because Liverpool supporters are divided over this to an extent. But you must not let your judgment about the manager cloud your issue over this, guys. If you wanted him out, right, you can't go, yeah, he's handled this wrong. Maybe he has handled it wrong, right? But he's the manager. And you can't have players running the fucking football club. It signals to every player, if you don't like your role, just torch the place publicly. It's the exact opposite of leadership. I can think, I genuinely think, maybe times have changed, but I think a senior Liverpool player, true legends from years gone by, people like when this man here was managing the club, I just think that they would never have done that. They wouldn't dream of doing it. I don't know. If you had a manager you respected, you'd sort it behind closed doors. If you're out of form, right, what do? You put your head down and you prove people wrong. And I remember discussing this on a live stream last week. So if you get, dropped, right, then what's your reaction? Your reaction should be, wait till I get my fucking chance. I'll fucking show you. I'll make you look a right pillock for dropping me. Honestly, it's not at all similar. But over the years with Cop Talk, when I got hated on by people, immensely serious hate, It made me more determined to succeed, right? And one of the best things that can ever happen to you if you do things like this, or maybe any career in life, is if people hate on you, right? Which is basically the same way of saying, you're not good enough or whatever, then you can turn it into a positivity. Because when they hate on me, it was the best thing that could ever happen to me, because I think, a little bit complacent with Cop Talk at one period. It would have been around the time that we won the Champions League at Istanbul and all that. And, when you become complacent, you take things for granted, right? And when people hated on me immensely, it didn't push me down. It made me go, you're not beating me. I'll show you. And it gave me like new energy. And Mo Salah, really, if you dropped and you watch him from the bench, he should be angry. He should be angry. You could defend him and say, well, at least he cares. But true, at least he does get. And there are other players that equally deserve to be dropped. So you can bang on about dropping Kanate, but who are you going to play instead of Kanate? You know what I mean? So he could have handled it differently, I feel. But this is a player. He don't give a fuck about you. Why, if he gives a fuck about you, you being the fans, right? Why'd you never hear from him then? You never hear from him unless it's about him. Self-centered. He can still be your legend. He can still be a Liverpool legend, but he can still be wrong. The manager can still be a poor manager. The manager can still be failing, but he can still, deserve your support over an issue like that. That's how I see it. So yeah, you don't need to come on here and tell me he's a Liverpool legend. We all fucking know that. But you can still make mistakes. And that was a big one, in my opinion. Slaughter's actually defended Salah publicly previously, spoke respectfully about him, tried to take the heat off him, and Salah repaid him by lighting the fuse. I have done so much for this club. I earned my position. I don't have to fight for it every day. Yes, you fucking do, motherfucker. I don't give a fuck who you are. Whether you're an academy player, whether you're a club legend, you have to fight for your place every fucking day. What a plank. I've scored more goals than anyone this generation. That kind of attitude. Thanks. True. But all irrelevant to the present moment. Football doesn't work on emotional credit. And I remember reading an article by James Pearce during the contract negotiations to do with Mo Salah, saying contracts are not, extended, if you like, or you are not rewarded just because of who you are. Right? I mean, I think they should be taken into consideration, like what you've done. But if we did that, Ian Rush should still be running around and trying to run around the pitch, And if Ian Rush had done anything like this, or John Barnes, two of my favourite ever Liverpool players, I'd have exactly the same attitude. You can't blindly support. Okay, what's more important to you, the player or the badge, the club badge? The club. Yeah? If you don't want to position yourself, and I'm not supporting Slaughter, I want him gone, then you've got to think about the club and the message it signals to everyone, especially the youngsters and shit like that. Arne Slot didn't bench the Mo Salah of 2023, for example, or last season. He's benching Mo Salah based on this season, and it's been the right decision. Like I say, Kanate, I don't give a fuck if that prick ever plays for us again. And the reason I'm calling him a prick is because I think he's mugging us off because he wants to go to Real Madrid. I'm sure he'll sign for us, or more likely to sign for us if that Real Madrid interest has ended. But I would say I'd be calling for him to be dropped because that's how loyal I am, because I'm defending my club, right? So You can have the best player in the fucking world playing for you, but if they're mugging your club, now fuck that, I'm going to drop you. The problem is, we haven't had, as you know, someone really, you know, that covering defence, because we fucked up by not getting a centre back in the summer, right? So needs must. But we have quite a few attacking options. Is he entitled to some respect? Because I've seen these comments, you know, people saying he should be respected. I think he is, absolutely. But respect goes both ways. Yeah, I think Slot has been respectful. I think the club has been respectful. And the fans, you know, I don't know if you would say they've been respectful or not during his, you know, his form this season. Because I know people lose their shit on social media, but I think they've been patient. You can love a player, he can still be your hero, but still go, he's out of line here. You know what I mean? So, questions. Why Salah's frustration is understandable. Obvious. He's a winner. He wants to play football. So we know that. The frustration is understandable. But the way he's handled it, is it unacceptable? I would say yes. Does it hurt the manager and the club? That's the question I will give to you if you're going to defend Mo Salah. Right? So you can defend Mo Salah, but answer the question honestly. Has it in any way harmed the manager, the club? Does it make it difficult for the manager of the club? What's more important to you? Has it helped? The only person it's helped is Mo Salah. Doesn't help you. It certainly doesn't help me. And it doesn't help them. And this is the message I'm trying to get across to you. You can still love Mo Salah and still feel for him. But it ain't right, guys. It ain't right. You earn your place in the team, whoever you are, whether you're Mo Salah or not. If the manager's dropped you, the head coach, whatever you want to fucking call him, has dropped you, all right, and don't forget, I ain't defending Arne Slot as a manager at all. I couldn't give a fuck what happens with him, to be honest with you. I'd rather he wasn't sacked, because that would mean the club is failing, right? But I don't give a shit. I'm not going to defend him for his managerial decision, but I'll defend him over this. Timing is terrible. The team is struggling. Slot's already under pressure. Now's the time to light the fuse. Helps nobody, just him. Ego, not leadership. That's what I've put here. And you know what we should do after this? We should ask Dave what he thinks. So, does he have a right to vent? Yes. He's earned respect as who he is and what he's done for the club. But rights come with responsibility. And throwing petrol on a fire is not responsible, that is for sure. They're speaking honestly, and then there's causing chaos. And he's done it every fucking time he's done it. Every time we see him, when there's something going wrong, oh yeah, it's probably my goodbye, might be my last game, like, oh yeah, no one will notice I said that. Fucking idiot. And I'm going to get to you a comment to you from the members website in a minute. Now, being a legend gives you respect, not immunity. Being a legend is something you earn over years, and he has achieved that status. But undermining the club in public is something you do in seconds. You can love Salah's goals. You can admire what he's done. You can consider him a legend. But you can still say this isn't acceptable. Two things can be true. Salah is a legend, and Salah handled this terribly. The badge is always bigger than the individual, even legends. Even if you want Slot sacked, even if you think his time is up, even if you don't rate him, you still defend him against a player who publicly attacks him. Why? Because the minute a player becomes more powerful than the manager, the club collapses. No club survives when the dressing room learns, if you don't like being dropped, torch the boss in the media. You don't have to like Slot, you don't have to rate him, but you have to respect his role. Otherwise, you'll never get stability with any manager, now or next season. If you side with the player over the manager, you're siding against Liverpool, which is, you might think is harsh, but I think it's true. That's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it. Slot is temporary. I think he'll be gone sooner than people realise. Salah is temporary. Footballers, managers, they come and go. The club doesn't. You know, the structure, the establishment, the institution. And you have hierarchy. If he'd have been Roy Hodgson in charge of Liverpool Football Club, I'd have said the same thing, guys. I would. If it had been Rafa Benitez, Gerard Houllier, two managers that I absolutely adored, Kenny Dalglish, whoever they are, I always respect the manager. If it had been, like I say, Rush, Barnes, Beardsley, you know, Aldridge, anyone over the years, Gerrard, I don't care who you are. I have to back my manager. Even if it's a manager that I think time's up, you're not doing it, I can't have the mentality of, well, I don't like the manager, so I'm going to pile on him. It's embarrassed him. And, you know, one thing in life, this isn't a case of bullying, but one thing in life I don't like is bullying or undermining or making someone look a fucking idiot. You know, you could be out with your girlfriend, your wife, your boyfriend, your husband, whatever, and putting them down in front of someone. You know, if you've had a little ding-dong, I don't mean like a full-scale fucking brawl. It's a bit obvious things are going to shit then, but, you know, showing your partner up in any way, shape or form. You keep it quiet, don't you? You know, you're getting on my fucking nerves. You tell her that, you tell him that in private. You don't say it in front of people and make your girlfriend, your wife, your husband, your boyfriend look a prick. It's private. Maybe she is getting on your fucking nerves. Maybe she does deserve to be made to look a fucking idiot in your mind. But it's a thing in life that you don't do. It's private. You know, the day that players think that they've run the fucking show, that's it. Players have too much power as it is anyway. And you know what? If he was coming out every fucking week saying, oh, do you know what, man, I should be doing better than this. We as a team should be better than it. He's a fucking coward, in my opinion. I think Mo Salah's a coward. You know, it's always the same fucking players that come out and face the cameras. Always. Anyone can do that when you're wanting a new contract or slagging your manager off and feel, you know, sorry for yourself. Yeah, or collecting a, you know, man of the match award or anything. You can all do that. But where's the real men? Where's the ones that go, oh, fucking hell, what am I going to fucking say about this? This manager's fucking shite, but I'm going to go out there and I'm going to say, well, you know, the manager, we owe the manager. It's playing the fucking game. Legends don't get a free pass to damage the club. Gakpo and Kanate I've wrote here, right? Kanate I've obviously touched on. He's a shit anyway. But even if you think they should be, you know, benched, it doesn't justify Salah's reaction, in my opinion. Poor form is a football issue. Going nuclear to the media is a discipline issue. They're not remotely comparable. Being dropped isn't a crime, it's football, it happens. top players get dropped all the time. It's part of the game. And he's turned it into a fucking crisis, to be honest with you. So it makes the club look has gone to shit if you think about it, because, we are going through a really rough time as it is, and the manager, in my opinion, is fucked. I don't think he can turn it around. And it's not helping. It's putting more pressure on us. The rival fans are loving it. You might think, fuck rival fans. No, but people are still creating it. You know what I mean? Like, we've been subjected to this shit. You're making the situation worse. At a time when we should all be on the page and forgetting our selfish reasons, put them to one side and help the issue. Yeah? Shut your fucking mouth. Keep your mouth shut. A manager, he's not a manager, he's an head coach. Fuck off. A manager decides who's in form, who suits the system, who fits the game plan. A club decides who has crossed professional boundaries, who has undermined leadership, who's hurting the team environment. Salah hit both categories at once. If your best paid or one of your best paid players, most senior players, drops below standard, managers react quicker, I think. That's football. And, you've got other attacking options that a lot of money are being spent on, and that's creating pressure as well, right? So Salah might be like, oh, hang on a minute, they're trying to force me out because to sign them fuckers. There could be some truth to that. There could be some truth to that. But what it's doing is it's creating speculation. Because we sit here, we go, oh, it's not helpful, is it? And now if you're a player that is picked ahead of Salah, how does that make you feel? How does that help the squad? Salah can go for me. He can go for me. Thanks for everything you've done. But that's it. Slot might have made mistakes, Slot might have mismanaged the situation, but Salah's decision to torch the manager, question the club, talk about leaving and all that shit, claim broken promises, and drag it out for that entire interview is totally disproportionate to being benched. You can't defend that. Now, there is a comment on the Cop Talk members website. Oh, I ain't got my passwords. I don't know my fucking password. Oh, no idea. Please give me my password. I don't know my password. Maybe it's, I can try my phone. If not, I'm going to turn around and read it. 11 messages just while I've been turning around. Okay, see if I can log in. No, don't worry, I got my password on this one. Members, Dunk, here we go, right. Page 13, I think. Was it 13? This is an important comment. Here we go. Right. This comment is from someone that's been a part of the Cop Talk VIP members website for fucking decades, I think. They're probably our best contributor in terms of accuracy, inside information, genuine inside information. I know exactly in what capacity they work. And if you were to ask any of the VIP members who have been on there for fucking years, when this person posts, everyone's like, ooh, right? Very, 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 very important individual, right? And they posted exactly as follows. Today, what time was it posted? About 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock, something like that this morning. Word from senior people at the club is pretty simple. The manager will always be backed over any player, no matter who it is. And Slot's own future is about results on the pitch, not what players say in interviews. Would you disagree with that? Is that not how it should be? In other words, if we're going to sack Slot, it will be because of the team performance, the results, over a period, historic period, over a period of time. What we aren't going to do is say, oh, you've upset Mo Salah, so we're going to sack you. Get a fuck. So I agree with that. Now, I saw something, and I might go over this a little bit later today in a separate video, but just in case, we don't, I need to read something to you which I found very interesting. So bear with me. We want this one and this one. This was posted by David Ornstein today, talking about Mo Salah being expected to be omitted from Liverpool's travelling party. I know that the infamous Indy on X said, that Salah's dropped from that. He posted that 4 minutes after a journalist in France made the claim. All right, just want you to know that. So David Ornstein, 2 journalists in the world you listen to concerning Liverpool Football Club, in my opinion, and he's one of them. He said Mo Salah is expected to be omitted from Liverpool's travelling party for their Champions League fixture at Inter on Tuesday, although a final decision has yet to be made. That was this afternoon, just around 1 o'clock. Let's just stick with this a minute. This is the bit that I found really interesting in the article, and I'm really surprised no one's discussing it. I haven't seen it discussed yet. The call will be taken by sporting director Richard Hughes in conjunction with the club's ownership and would underline their support of head coach Arne Slot. Right? So Salah's obviously training today. I probably will make a video about this later when things become a little bit clearer. So the decision to omit him will be taken by Richard Hughes in conjunction with the club's owners. And that would underline their support of head coach Arne Slot. Do you not find that a very interesting comment? I do. I do. Now, you might agree with me, you might disagree with me, my video might be shite, I don't know, I'm not here to fucking entertain. If you can do it better, go for it, link me to it. I could never, ever, ever, ever support a player that does that to his manager. Even if you were to listen to him and think, he's got a point, even if you think that, you just can't do that. You can't. You just can't do it. It's the shittiest thing ever. Like I say, it's making someone look a cunt, whether it's your girlfriend, your boss, whatever. It's weak. And I don't care what you say. It's like, if that was someone like Andy Robertson saying it, right, someone that everyone fucking loves, we all love Mo Salah, but we know Andy Robertson's there all year round. An emotional lad, a lovable, likeable lad, and he cares about the club and his teammates and the fans. I genuinely believe that. If he said it, I'd be like, still the same. I'd say, fuck off, man. Who do you think you are? Right? But if he said it, you'd be like, oh, we hear from him all the time. He's open, and he wears his out on his sleeve. He's always just telling us, fucking Mo Salah, man, I don't give a fuck. It's only about him. That's it. It's about him. Well, I'm sorry, and I'm sorry if it offends you in the slightest, but he can fuck off as far as I'm concerned. Because the club comes first. And Arne Slot, he can go as well. I'm not going to say Arne Slot can fuck off because he ain't done out wrong. If it don't work for Arne Slot, then that's just tough shit, isn't it? Tried his best, job's gone here. Same with Roy Hodgson, Brendan Hodges and all them. I didn't, take great glee. It didn't work, did it? Tried their hardest, didn't work, whatever. Or maybe you think Rodgers was more successful than he deserves credit for. I don't know. But your manager comes first. A club, managers and players come and go. All right. Now, yes, it opens up a whole, number of debates that you can have. Well, if he's dropped, he should be fucking dropped. Right? Now, Hughes, Edwards, they're the people at the top of this, and this shit's happening underneath them. And they appointed Arne Slot, right? And I mentioned this article only the other day, actually, over the weekend to some of my friends. And when we were talking about Liverpool, they don't support Liverpool, they support other teams. And I mentioned this article to you last week on a couple of live streams. And that was that when Arne Slot was handed the job, there was a report in his homeland that I read that said he's a very good manager, he deserves the opportunity. Bit of a surprise he's got the Liverpool job. In other words, I bet he's like that. Can't believe me fucking luck, right? But the one thing that they said that stood out to me was he's never managed players of that importance before, right? You've heard me mention it. Now, you assume, and I always struggle to word that bit because I feel like, I want to go into he's never managed players with those egos before. But I'm not sure that's Mo Salah, yeah. But you could argue that the greatest players in the world do have egos. And rightly fucking so. It doesn't mean you can throw your manager under a bus. Anyway, that's by the way. The point I'm trying to make here is that the suggestion from his homeland, this journalist in his homeland, was he's never managed players of this value, this importance before. So if you've got a striker, playing for you in some fucking farmers league somewhere, and he's not delivering, there's really a lot of pressure on somebody who's just not delivering, is he? We've got one that plays for us, my local team. Fucking shite. I hope he's not watching. But you know what I mean? But anyway. But the point is, there's no pressure on the club. He's just not playing. We should get another one. Do you know what I mean? That's what would happen. But when you're managing players, they haven't necessarily got ego or whatever, but they are important motherfuckers. If Mo Salah's not delivering for you, if Isak is not delivering for you, you've got to manage that and manage the stress that comes with it. That's what that journalist was saying. Not necessarily you've got these prima donnas, because I don't think Mo Salah is like that really, but he's a player of high value and high importance, and being put under this pressure and that is going to be different to what Slot's used to. But take away the outburst, the Mo Salah shit. I'm talking about the way that things are going in the league. He's got these players, I said it before, if you look at the game, there's 11 players, individual players, but there isn't a team. So he can be out of his depth, in terms of not being able to manage those players of such importance and value. Does that make sense? And that could be a contributing factor to this. I don't know. But what I do know is Mo Salah was fucking wrong. And even though I would, I'm not calling for the manager to be sacked, but if he was sacked, I ain't going to fucking bat an eyelid. Right? You want to keep an eye on Alonso. He's about to get the bullet if he's not careful. Right? Let me know what you think. If the video's all over the place, I apologise, but there's so much stuff that I want to try and convey to you. And in my morning briefing, I said it very briefly, is if you haven't got time to watch this video, you can't be asked. I just don't agree with the situation. Mo Salah can be a legend, is a legend, and he can still be wrong. The manager can still be failing and not living up to your expectations, but he can still be supported over an issue like that. That doesn't mean that you want him to stay, maybe. But no, it's all about decency and that, guys. And maybe it's an age thing. Maybe younger fans, you've grown up with Mo Salah and you think he's the best. You'll cry your eyes out if he leaves. You'll grow up one day. One day you'll grow up and you'll realise they're just millionaire footballers that genuinely, most of them don't give a fuck about you. and they only care about themselves. And Mo Salah's never shown anything to me that suggests that, he cares about you. He cares about Mo Salah, just like his agent, Runmi Abaf, cares about him, right? The only time I ever see Mo Salah, right, is when he needs a contract, when something's going wrong like this, or when he's putting a Christmas tree up. Some of you will know what I'm talking about, right? That's it. It's not nice to be critical. It's not nice to pull someone up, but sometimes, but I don't know. I'm sure over the years my mum would have told me off and gone, you, fuck you, I still love you, but you're out of order, son. We still love you, Mo, but you're out of order, son. It's not helpful. It's not helpful. And your loyalty should be with your manager and the club. Should be. Should be. Now, I'm sick of talking about him. I'm off. 41 fucking minutes. What a my life. All right, if you somehow enjoyed this video, please thumbs up the video. All right? You can enjoy the video but still disagree with me. So don't be butthurt and just thumbs it down for... But if you do, you do. I don't give a fuck, to be honest. Thumbs up my vid if you enjoyed the video, the points I've raised. And if you disagree with me, there's a comment section. All right? I ain't got a problem. Listen, I love people having different opinions. Just be respectful. Isn't that what we all want? Be respectful. Just be nice to each other. Same when you talk to each other in the comment section. Stop abusing each other. I see some of you arguing and I think, just fucking knock it off. If I see your comments abusing someone else in the comment section, you're fucking gone. Right? The Liverpool way, if you're a Liverpool fan, you're supposed to, treat each other with respect. If you disagree with someone, if they're shit, just ignore them. I'll deal with them motherfuckers. Thumbs up or thumbs down, drop me a comment. There's love out under the video. Something that Mo Salah will never have to fucking get on his hands and knees for to beg support. There's love out under the video if you want to support my channel. All right? Not going to cry about it if you don't. Not going to pull a Mo Salah if you don't. But I know who's with me. Thanks, guys. And there is a link in the video description. There's 3 links, actually. My favourite one's Revolut. That's my beer kitty for a Saturday, for my day out on a Saturday, if you want to buy me a beer. I really want to hear your comments. I want to hear your thoughts. I know we're going to be talking about it a bit. I keep checking, things. There is other things that I do want to say about the issue. So, what I will say is, separate issue here. Mo Salah's time as a Liverpool legend, when he's over, he's coming to the end of his Liverpool career, right? That was evident and clear before this bullshit, all right? And he's got to accept that. And he'll be all right, okay? And I'd rather give him a nice little wave, thanks for everything you've done. And we move on. That's what the club does. You support the club, remember. That's going to take care of itself, right? Arne Slot, in my opinion, I would be stunned if he's still the manager, head coach, at the end of the season. Alonso, there's an opening possibly coming up, Alonso. Maybe that'll happen. But that really should be for another video, I think. All right, guys. I hope my video hasn't bored you to death too much. I hope I haven't offended any of you. If I have, you shouldn't be on my fucking channel. This ain't the channel for you, really. This channel is your channel. It's your community. Please never feel that you can't comment because you're going against what I say. I love debate. I do, guys. And, anything I've said in this video doesn't mean I'm right. Doesn't mean I'm wrong either. Dunk knows best. But I just think it's about decency. And I don't give a fuck who you are. Whether you're an academy kid or a world-class club legend, you don't shit on your manager like that. All right, guys. See you in a bit.